Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura Kleinman. I'm president of the board of HFLA of Northeast Ohio. And I want to thank you for joining us as we celebrate Northeast Ohio small businesses with Vicki Kotris, owner of Cleveland Cookie Dough Company and Remixx Ice Cream and Cereal Bar. This month, we are highlighting some of our community partners that help support businesses in Northeast Ohio. Vicki received funding from HFLA of Northeast Ohio that was matched with funding from the City of Cleveland, Department of Economic Development, so that she could open up her brick and mortar business, Remixx Ice Cream and Cereal Bar. We are so appreciative of our ability to work with the City of Cleveland so that together we can make entrepreneurial dreams like this one come true. So Vicki, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for those of you out there for watching. Vicki, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for all the support that we've had over the past 18 months probably at this point. But I'm Vicki Kotris. I am a native Clevelander, but I'm also kind of a boomerang. So I went to school at Ohio University, moved back to Cleveland, and then quickly did a 3-year jaunt in Phoenix, Arizona. So it was in Phoenix that I started my professional career, kept on it, stayed as a remote employee, and then moved back to Cleveland in 2013. So it's been an exciting kind of journey back here to Cleveland. My husband and I got married in 2017 and both working corporate jobs, and then kind of parlayed our experience into opening up small businesses in 2018 and kind of have no jaunt in stopping.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, I recently visited your website and I can understand why you're not stopping. It looks so exciting and good. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So through that journey of, crisscrossing across the country and getting married, when did you decide to become a small business owner and how did you get into this business in particular?
Well, it's funny because there isn't a big correlation between selling software, which is what I do in my day job, and making ice cream and cookie dough on the weekends. But I will tell you that it was kind of a long time coming, getting to a place where I wanted to open a business. And I think I had always wanted to do something for my own, but I was really more so driven to create something of my own. And working in corporate America is incredible. It gives you so many skills, you network, you meet so many people, and you really start to learn who you are. But in my case, I kind of started to see that it wasn't giving me everything. It wasn't fulfilling me in every way that I kind of had imagined. So on my 29th birthday, I had kind of this come to Jesus moment, if you would call it, and say, I want to do something more. And ironically enough, my husband was in the same position where he had been an accountant for 15 years. And he also has creativity in other ways than I do. And it was so fortunate for us that we had this moment together where we said, what is something that we could do that's fun, that's expressive, that's creative? And we are not bakers by trade. We are not, I would say, like foodie aficionados, but we knew that was the smallest barrier point for creating a product and getting it to market, because everybody likes food, everyone feels fun, when you're serving them something or making them something. So when we started throwing around ideas, we had thought a food truck sounds really fun because we can do it on the weekends, we can go to festivals, we can keep our corporate jobs, and we're still able to feed both sides of ourselves. And we kind of learned very, very quickly that time is very finite and we only had so much time and energy to give to our business. And so that's when we were able to kind of start making that transition from corporate America into owning and fully operating our businesses. And that's what we do with both Cleveland Cookie Dough and Remixx today.
Yeah. Are you and Steve the ones in the food truck?
We do. Yeah. So we run it primarily ourselves. We have brought on staff over the past 3 years to help us with events. It started as friends and family. So my, 65-year-old dad who's retired was our second driver. But yeah, it was us cranking it out every single weekend, nighttime events. And up until very recently, it's just been us and a very, select few of folks that have helped us.
So you know what, on that note, whether it's the cookie dough food truck or Remixx, which I realize only opened during COVID last fall, there's always that challenge, isn't there, Vicki, in terms of figuring out when you do need to hire more people and who are you going to hire, who can you trust, and how do you as the owner give up some control, and can you talk about that a little bit and whether that has been a challenge for you and maybe an obstacle that you had to overcome, but perhaps maybe it's not and you've had other obstacles?
No, Laura, you nailed the biggest challenge of any business owner. And about 2 months ago, we were having so many staffing challenges as never having led a team before. And we're talking to other business owners to find out, is it just us? Is this a thing? Are people experiencing this? And the ironic thing is when we started to reach out to people, I don't care what industry they were in, if they owned another restaurant, if they were a sales manager of a software sales team, everyone has these staffing issues and how and wanting to know how to lead a team. So how we overcome it is, I think, admitting that we are very green when it comes to this and doing the best that we can, but the same leap of faith that we took in starting our business in the first place is the same leap of faith that we take in hiring people that feel good to us, that feel connected to our mission, ones that we can build a relationship with, and then we can lay that foundation of kind of a successful working relationship and further successes for the business. So I wish that I had an easy answer. And if anyone has a recipe for building the perfect team, we will gladly mix it on up and eat it for dinner. But up until this point, we cannot, we're doing the same. We're just learning as we grow.
Yeah, it's tough. Mm-hmm. Is there, along the lines of trying to get that perfect recipe, is there a piece of advice that someone gave you kind of along the way in your new business journey that was particularly helpful?
I'm trying to think of one particular instance. We've had a lot of great mentors in getting to where we are, but I can't even say that it's something that's only happened as we've started our business, because I really do consider myself a student of life in general. And in every instance of a job that I've had, a relationship I've had, I've been able to take a piece of that and use it and repurpose it for the next venture. So I can't think of something very specific, but I think when we were first starting our business, it's kind of like, what's the worst that could happen? And that mantra has guided us to today. It's like, keep trying, keep expanding, keep moving. And what's the worst that can happen if you're putting all of this good energy behind it? So I let that be my guiding light is just kind of keep moving, keep swimming.
Yeah, no, it's a good attitude, one that many people could adopt and probably be a little less anxious. Vicki, let's go back for a minute. How, as a new business owner, how did you learn about and decide to pursue getting funding from HFLA and the city of Cleveland as well?
Yeah, well, that's another learning lesson. And it goes back to the mentors we've had. So for anyone who's listening or watching this, we worked really closely with a nonprofit organization called Jumpstart. And that's where we learned of HFLA. So we went through the Jumpstart Core City Impact Program, where we pitched with 4 other businesses that had similar missions to us, but everyone was kind of a lifestyle company, restaurants, DJ, gym, those kinds of businesses. And so they had helped us in developing a business plan and knew that we wanted to expand into a more brick and mortar presence. And that's kind of where Remixx was created. But the funny thing is we didn't know how financing for a business works. I think if you want to buy a house, you walk into a bank and either they say yes or no. When you own a business and you walk into a bank, they say, what are your financials? What's your business plan? How will you be using this? Who else is providing funding to you. So that's where HFLA became a great partner for us, because that was our kind of our cornerstone that we needed to fall into place to secure funding from 2 other sources. So it was a puzzle piece that fit together really well, and we were able to use a lot of the monies to fund almost entirely our whole project. But we needed the buy-in from so many different people in order to make it successful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad, really glad we were able to help. And so what's next for you, Vicki? And what's next? Where do you see yourself maybe in 5 to 10 years? More remixes, across the country, something else?
If this one doesn't kill me, then maybe number 2 and number 3 are going to be on the horizon. I don't know. I try not to think too much about the 5-year, 10-year plan, because that's what got me so burnt out in corporate America, that you have to think about this timeline and where you are. So I'm kind of just letting the process guide us to what's going to be next. But I think what we're really excited about is some new opportunities of physical expansion. So where we could have a potential small event space that's part of Remixx. We're exploring some other creative avenues that are non-food related. So I think what we've learned through this is that, we're new at a lot of things, but we can do a lot of things with just a good plan in place and then using everything that we've learned so far. So I don't know about a total Remixx expansion, but I do know that we want to open up more businesses in the city of Cleveland and continue being a really positive presence for our community wherever we open up shop.
Good. Well, so on that note, because we have to wrap up, can you let all of our watchers know how to find you, whether it's cookie dough they're seeking or a ice cream apple jacks honey drizzle matchup?
Absolutely. And I think what you're getting to is the Cardi B at Remixx, which we have a really fun playlist that all of our guests can pick from. And it all ranges from different songs. We have a Dough Shorty, It's Your Birthday, a Cardi B, a Cleveland Shuffle option. But we welcome anyone to stop into Remixx. You can really be we call you the DJ of your own dessert, where you can pick from mix-ins and cereals and drizzles, and we blend everything together for you. So it's a perfectly crafted and curated ice cream experience. But we are also opening up our Cleveland Cookie Dough food truck for the spring and summer, popping up at neighborhoods all over Northeast Ohio. So we welcome anyone who is interested to contact us on social media. Everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is just at CLE Cookie Dough, to shoot us a message that way, or just pop into Remixx, which is at 11512 Clifton Avenue in Cleveland.
Excellent. So thank you everyone for joining us today as we continue to celebrate Northeast Ohio small businesses. Vicki's Small Business Remixx, again, was made possible through collaborative efforts from HFLA of Northeast Ohio and the City of Cleveland Department of Economic Development. And together, we are supporting Northeast Ohio small businesses. Take care, everybody. Bye.